He will face off against Dwayne Wade and the Heat. No home team is lost in this series.
Here simply is what I believe. I believe in the game.
The game.
Key, line, lane, layup, good!
And I believe in the Hail Mary. Hallelujah!
Rookie Dwayne Wade buzzer beater, along with Lamar Odom, paced the Heat to an early 2-0 lead. But hobbled off, Baron Davis put the Hornets on his back as New Orleans took the next two at home. Can Baron make it 3 straight, or will the home team win again? And later tonight,
I believe in rivalries,
dynasties, in legends.
Many feel in order to be a legend, playoff success is a must. Tonight, Kevin Garnett looks to begin his playoff legacy as the Timberwolves try and win their first playoff series ever. Will Melo and the Nuggets rebound from their tough Game 4 loss? Or is this the night Minnesota believes its big ticket gets punched?
I believe. I believe.
And that is what I believe.
Welcome to Times Square on a picture-perfect day. The McDonald's NBA brackets out in the heart of Times Square. And will we be able to fill another spot and move another team into the semifinals? Welcome inside our Times Square studios alongside Greg Anthony and Stephen A. Smith. I'm Kevin Frazier. Bill Lambier taking care of WNBA duties. He's a defending champ, so he gets that latitude. Meanwhile, we're getting set for a great game between the Heat and Hornets, the first of our doubleheader. What should we expect, Greg?
Well, I think the point guard has really been the difference in this series. One, when Dwayne Wade has played well, Miami has won. When Baron Davis has played well, the Hornets have won. I think also from Miami's standpoint, this is Game 7. They're a young, inexperienced team. They have not played well on the road. They can't afford to lose this game. They have to come out with a sense of purpose and a sense of energy tonight, Stephen.
Stan Van Gundy can coach his tail off. With that said, Dwayne Wade, Eddie Jones, and everybody else should be attacking Baron Davis. You are the Miami Heat. This is Game 7, as Greg just said. You need to attack Baron Davis with everything you've got to make sure you make Darrell Armstrong and Tremont Williams beat you. That's how you win this series if you're Miami.
I love that. I love that focus. Game 7. Game 5 is really
Game 7 for me.
We'll see what Lynch, Augman, and West can do. That line for the Hornets was big. Let's head out to the arena right now where Mike Breen is standing by. Mike?
Welcome to beautiful Miami, where the Lawrence O'Brien Championship Trophy on display. As are the Heat fans, they are behind their team as we have Game 5 of this Eastern Conference first-round series. And it's the one that's certainly the most competitive, as 2 teams swept, 1 team gets by in 5. And this one all deadlocked at 2 apiece as we head back to Miami. Good evening, everyone. Along with Bill Walton, Mike Breen on hand. Jim Gray will join us shortly. So far, 4 games. The home team has won all 4. And that's certainly been the story for Dwayne Wade, the terrific rookie to Miami Heat. He's just like his team has gone. Played very well at home, has struggled on the road, and they need him to play well because he's a very special player, Bill.
Like Dwayne Wade is emblematic of the new look Miami Heat. This is not your parents' Heat at all, because it's a young, dynamic, and athletic team. The first 2 games, he was incredibly vibrant up and down the court. In the games in New Orleans, they took the ball out of his hands. But Stan Van Gundy, their coach, told us today that he's a very quick learner and has made all the adjustments. He needs to get into the open court. Playing at home in front of this raucous crowd will really help Dwayne Wade.
He's also had to defend Baron Davis, who's been the leading scorer despite all these injuries. Left ankle sprain, left knee, left wrist, to make sure he's not prejudiced to the left side. He has the right hand injury, and to round things out, a sore back. And he spoke a short time ago with our Jim Gray.
Mike, thank you. Baron, just about everything hurts. What is your condition? You have not practiced the last 2 days.
I'm going to play. I'm out here. You know, I got to give it a go, play as hard as I possibly can, and, you know, hope I lead us to victory.
Now, Baron, you told us today that it hasn't been very much fun this year. What is the underlying problem with this team?
I think it's just a lot of unnecessary stuff going on off the court. You know, it's just something that we have to clean up in the offseason.
You said everybody's on pins and needles and looking over their shoulders. Is that the case, or can you put that behind yourselves and try and win this game in this series?
I think we can put it behind ourselves. You know, this team has been together for a while, and guys are veterans and know how to play in the playoffs, so I don't think that's bothering us right now. I know it has been a problem throughout the season, but right now guys are focused and ready to win tonight.
Baron, thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Mike, a lot going on behind the scenes. We'll talk about it during the game. Back over to you.
Well, Jim, it certainly didn't affect them in games 3 and 4. We'll see how they do on the road in Game 5 coming up next.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by The Day After Tomorrow. When it's all on the line, play like there's no tomorrow. Nissan, who invites you to ship the way you move through the world. New Sprite Remix Very Clear. And Boost Mobile, the pay-as-you-go phone with nationwide walkie-talkie. Boost Mobile, where you at?
You buy the 2004 NBA Finals, coming in June.
Welcome to 20th Century Fox's presentation of ESPN's Play Like There's No Tomorrow.
Another sellout crowd here in Miami as we get set for Game 5. Take a look at our Bud Light starting lineups. A lot of individual intriguing matchups that are going to be fun to watch, including Baron Davis and Dwayne Wade, P.J. Brown and Lamar Odom. Remember, for Wade, Odom, and Caron Butler, it's their first ever playoff series.
Extreme contrast here for Miami. You got youthful exuberance and remarkable athleticism for New Orleans. It's size, strength, and experience.
And the Heat fans all fired up. They have started to really embrace this team here in Miami. Last couple of years, they've been empty seats quite a bit. But as the season progressed, the city really latched on because of players like Dwayne Wade and Caron Butler. Young players, energetic, athletic players that play hard. The veteran Eddie Jones as well as Baron Davis. Last-minute checkup on all the bumps and bruises. And it is a team that they've really rooted for down here in Miami. As we mentioned, this will be the third straight sellout in the playoffs.
20,000 raucous fans here, and for Miami, the keys: trap Baron Davis, get the ball out of his hands, deny Jamal McGlure down low, rebound the basketball, play better in the fourth quarter. The third quarter has been the Heat's domain, and then push the pace.
You saw that note about 14 straight wins. They finished the season 12 straight victories at home, and then the first two in the playoffs. It's been tough for Tim Floyd and the Hornets here in Miami. They lost their 2 regular season games, and they also lost to Stan Van Gundy's team the first 2 here in this best-of-7 series that, of course, is now a best-of-5. Or best-of-3, I should say.
For New Orleans, it's control the tempo and the paint, capitalize on their size and power, minimize the open court play of Wade, Odom, and Butler, and then the P.J. Brown-Lamar Odom matchup is going to be critical for Tim Floyd's Hornets.
It has been a defensive-oriented series, a very physical series, not one with a lot of good shooting. Both teams shooting under 40% from the field. And Baron Davis guarded by Wade. A tough assignment for a rookie, but he's handled it very well. George Lynch off the mark. Lynch, of course, had a big game 4.
Who's going to run with Dwayne Wade?
Eddie Jones off the mark. Jones has struggled from the field. A big part of it has been the strong defense from David Wesley.
But he's been getting good looks. Remember, this is a top 3-point shooting team in the NBA. And with Rafer Alston and Eddie Jones struggling mightily from behind the arc, it's been tough for Stan Van Gundy.
Wesley off the mark. Last time New Orleans was in this building, they lost by 30. It was an embarrassing loss in Game 2. Odom, quick move, can't finish. One that Tim Floyd said it was so bad, so embarrassing after Game 2 that he really didn't have to have motivational speeches as Wade. Nice recovery in the block shot. He felt the Hornets were so embarrassed that this veteran team would come back strong, and they did in Games 3 and 4.
The block shot from behind. Exquisite defense by the Heat, coming where the opportunity is. But after that Game 2 loss, a 30-point blowout, I thought that Miami would win this series in 3 games.
There you see Wade with his numbers. Now, he made a nice block. Unfortunately, his teammate Brian Grant did not. Grant calling for his first foul as Davis misses the free throw. It's so loud you can't hear the whistle in the opening minutes.
But the rust for Baron Davis, who will have to work his way in. He has not been able to do anything. Jim Gray had the dynamic report early on about the entire left side of Baron Davis's body just not feeling well by any stretch of the imagination.
Has not practiced at all. Didn't practice the 2 days before this game. Didn't practice the 2 days before Game 4. And that can take its toll in terms of being a little rusty even at this point of the season. No, Eddie Jones, nice move, but again, can't finish.
David Wesley's playing outstanding defense, giving up a lot of size and athleticism to Eddie Jones.
Good hustle from Wade. Last touch by Wesley. And that particular play, Bill, that's pretty much an epitome of the way this series has gone. These two teams really fighting for every loose ball, for every possession. although it hasn't been high scoring, the shooting has been poor. It has been so highly competitive and so evenly matched. It really is a fun series to watch from that standpoint.
Well, the numbers were 3 of the 4 ball games coming right down to the final moments. They could have been toss-ups. The only game 2 was the blowout. Who's going to rise above the crowd?
Well, Odom in his first playoff series has been rising. This has been a breakout year from Lamar Odom. And he gives Miami their first field goal.
David Wesley's not healthy himself. He's playing with a very bad toe. Caused him to miss 20 games this season.
George Lynch comes up short. Now, aren't I supposed to follow that with saying, come on, it's the playoffs? No?
Obviously, your toe never bothered you.
That's your line, Bill. Wild shot. And then a bad outlet pass and a turnover. And that's key, although that's not going to obviously go into a fast break opportunity. But you talk to the New Orleans coaching staff, and the way to stop Miami from running, not to turn the ball over and hit some shots. And that's exactly what they did in Game 4 when they shot 50% from the field.
I'd come back to Lamar Odom. He has got to get going. They've had such versatility in terms of the balance of their offensive attack.
There's usually one play a game where you're just amazed at what he can do.
I like the fact that Dwayne Wade is attacking. He was so conservative in games 3 and 4.
Baron Davis off the mark from 3. Half of Davis's shot attempts have been from 3-point range in this series.
Nice pass.
Lynch can't finish. Good help defense from Odom, but it's still New Orleans ball as Grant could not hold on.
We talked about this not being your parents' Miami Heat. Down the lane, Dwayne Wade. Who was the last player on this franchise to make a play like that?
He is going to be a special player. He's already had perhaps a bigger impact than a lot of people thought. He's that other rookie behind LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, but he is not far behind.
If you saw that regional final in Minnesota a year ago where he single-handedly, Dwayne Wade, torched Kentucky, you've always been impressed with Dwayne Wade.
Pretty impressed with Wesley's three-point shooting. He is 50% from downtown in this series. He's 9 of 18, and the game is tied here at 3 minutes gone by.
Nice passing by Eddie Jones.
Battle for the rebound, Caron Butler. And the ball was a travel. Butler lost it, was looking to pass it, fell down, nobody touched it. That's a good call from Joe DeRosa.
What he was looking for was the whistle because he got fouled. He had both hands on the ball and he jumped up to shoot it. And the New Orleans Heat, they just grabbed his arm and pulled it off the ball. No call whatsoever.
Butler didn't seem to argue much as he has been a solid job on the boards. More than solid, 9 rebounds a game in the series. A reminder, have some playoff fun with your friends. Go to NBA.com to send a condolence e-card to rub it in after a big win. Oh, that's nice. The NBA playoffs are online at NBA.com. No, rubbing poor sportsmanship with fans.
Especially when we had the Sportsman of the Year in this game in P.J. Brown.
Wesley. Back-to-back threes from David Wesley. He's shooting so much better from three-point range. As we mentioned, over 50%. From two-point range, he's at about 32%.
How about a screen in the backcourt for Dwayne Wade so we can get on the run against Baron Davis, who doesn't want to play a lot of defense right now because of his health problems.
Eddie Jones continues to struggle from the field, and Odom picks up his first foul. And New Orleans will take it out of bounds.
Mike, you talked about the balance and evenness of this series tied at 2-2. The only first-round series to get to this point. In 4 games, there's only been total of 15 points differential between the two teams. Only 11 rebounds difference and only 1 turnover difference.
But still, no road team has broken through on this series. During the regular season, New Orleans 16-25 on the road. P.J. Brown rattles it in. Brown has had his typical strong defense and rebounding series. He has not shot the ball well, but he's one of the all-time underrated players in the league over the past 10 years.
He's not out there to shoot the ball. He knows all about playing here. He played 4 seasons with the Miami Heat. 4 of the best years of his career.
Caron Butler misfires. The Heat have missed 7 of their first 9 from the field. That ball off Baron Davis. Good help defense from Caron Butler.
But that screen by George Lynch to try to free up Baron Davis, that's what Miami needs to do to help Dwayne Wade. They're forcing him to create all by himself against a stagnant, dug-in defense.
8 straight points by the Hornets.
Not even close.
Lynch good boxing out. And here come the Hornets. Certainly the slower pace favors New Orleans, but they'll look to break if they have the opportunity. Boy, good rotation defensively from Miami, and Butler with the steal.
Nice closeout defense by David Wesley. You got to get to the hoop if you're Caron Butler there.
And Wade knocks it down. So Wade, after some shooting struggles in games 3 and 4, he did have 10 assists in game 4, but he's looking much more aggressive offensively here in game 5.
After an entire season without a double-digit assist game.
Baron Davis draws the foul. That's the first on Wade. Check that, his second.
And not a deep team at Stan Van Gundy's disposal here, but the ability of Dwayne Wade to just put the ball on the floor, get in the air one time. Very reminiscent of Michael Finley of the Dallas Mavericks. Not looking to try to do anything too fancy, but with 2 fouls now, Stan Van Gundy is in a real quandary.
So Ray Froston will come in. Davis is the first. Of course, Alston has had a terrific season as well. His best season as he's bounced around the NBA. He's more of a pure point guard. Also a very good defender. But they'll certainly miss Dwayne Wade, who's going to have to sit for a good stretch now. There you see New Orleans after, again, playing so well in games 3 and 4, so they got their confidence back, even though they've now moved to the road.
But the confidence should all be on behalf of the Miami Heat right now.
P.J. Brown, the block shot. And Butler comes up short. Quick release from Davis. Lost it, got it back, and still put it in. Terrific play from Baron Davis, and Stan Van Gundy wants to talk things over.
Things not going well for Miami right now. This crowd so ready to celebrate and explode, pushed back in their seats by the explosive start of the New Orleans Hornets.
The Heat shooting problems continue as Davis finishes off a 12-2 run. Meanwhile, Miami missed 10 of their first 13 from the field. We're almost midway through the first. New Orleans by 7. First quarter in Miami. We spoke to Baron Davis earlier today. He told us that this season hasn't been fun. It's been a year filled with tension. But he also told us it didn't begin that way.
When we first started out in the season, everybody was, playing well and doing a great job. And, we were all getting along. And then it's just like this dark cloud came over us. And, all kind of stuff started happening. And we just became a fragmented team.
And it hasn't been just one thing. There's been a lot of different things that have gone on. The ownership have had squabbles among themselves. The Jamal Mashburn injury and him not being around the team. The new coach adjustment. The players and coaches have not seen eye to eye at certain times during the course of the year. It has not been an easy season, Bill.
Stunning, the atmosphere around this team right now. With their future on the line, Game 5 of the playoffs, Baron Davis said it best. Let's just go play ball. Maybe they've taken their cue from the Los Angeles Lakers this year.
You know what, though? A lot of teams go through this type of thing. You have your disagreements, you have your ups and downs. It's part of an NBA season, but what was surprising to us as Oda makes a nice play was that Baron Davis said today, right in the midst of a playoff series, hey, it's not fun. It's been a tension-filled year, so obviously it's had a huge impact on him.
He wasn't the only one talking up that story today, though, here with the New Orleans Hornets. Which is frustrating and embarrassing. Eddie Jones, finally, a three-pointer gets to fall.
Hornets lead it by 3 after a couple of buckets, and there's a foul on Ray for Alston. So Alston picks up his first, and they're in the penalty, so free throws more for Baron Davis as we go to Jim Gray.
Well, Mike, we asked Tim Floyd about this today, and he said he is at peace with this. If, in fact, he is not back next year, he felt as though he has done very well. And if you believe what is being said by many of the players and others in the organization, what's been written about in the media, Tim Floyd will not be back next year if that is to be believed. In addition, the ownership have squabbles. They continue to squabble amongst each other. They don't even talk to each other by accounts of all reports. So it may even be headed for legal action between the two of them trying to buy each other out. So this thing is just a mess. But as Baron Davis said, hey, we got to put it behind us somehow and try and win the game. That doesn't even begin the Jamal Mashburn situation. Team was upset that he rehabilitated here for 4 months. Didn't even come to the game when they were down here. Then he got upset with them, and now he can't travel with the team. So go figure it all out, Mike.
Well, it's made Tim Floyd and his staff and the players have done a good job putting all that aside and getting back into this playoff series after losing by 30 in Game 2. And you have to feel for Tim Floyd because a lot of it's injuries. I mean, you could make a case that Mashburn, maybe Davis is the best player, but Mashburn played only 19 games. Davis missed a ton of games. David Wesley missed 20 games. It's his first year with the team. Sometimes the impatience in this league regarding coaches and players is just so out of hand, Bill.
It's mind-boggling what is happening with this New Orleans Hornets franchise. I have had nothing but a positive experience with my relationship with Tim Floyd. I wish him the best.
As Lynch misfires, Grant picks it up. Jones, the runner. P.J. Brown, tough rebound and is fouled, so more free throws coming up.
Number 6, Eddie Jones.
So P.J. Brown will walk the length of the floor. And there you see, again, it's key guys that have missed. And it's tough to come in with a new system. Paul Silas was here, and he was a very popular player with, or very popular coach with the players. And for Tim Floyd, it hasn't been easy with all those injuries. It makes it difficult. And when you're missing big guys, that starts stress and that brings down. He's a good basketball man. He knows his X's and O's, and it's nice that he got a shot after what happened to him in Chicago. And we just hope that he continues to get a shot.
He never got a chance up in Chicago. That was a disaster from the day one.
So a 6-point lead now for New Orleans.
New Orleans started the season very strong. Baron Davis, player of the month in the initial month of the season. Baron Davis, third team All-NBA this year.
Eddie Jones misfires and a foul called on Lamar Odom. Moving screen, that's 2 fouls on Odom. So Odom and Wade, 2 starters, each with 2 quick fouls in the opening period.
And the 2 creative leaders on the court. What Miami's failing to do is move their feet. Setting a screen, trying to free up Eddie Jones. The movement on P.J. Brown, who was going nowhere anyway. As a screener, you just screen the spot and let the guy coming off the screen use you.
He did move there. Udonis Haslem, the rookie in the game. Wesley misfires that 3. And there's Butler. What a rebounder Butler is for his size.
Butler's got to be the guy that steps forward right now.
And they also need Eddie Jones, who was their leading scorer during the season, to help out offensively. Good deflection from P.J. Brown.
Eddie Jones should be playing better. He's not put up good numbers here. Remember, he used to play for this Hornet franchise when they were in Charlotte.
P.J. Brown off the mark. 3 numbers low once again. 31% for the Hornets, 29% for the Heat. Get used to it, because that's where they've been most of the series.
Great screen, Brian Grant. Just off the mark.
Butler. And good. That's what you love to see about a player. He throws up an air ball, doesn't let her bother him, hustles down the other end and makes a beautiful steal. He's averaging almost 3 steals a game in the playoffs.
But a problem for the Heat is they're moving individually right now. Another turnover, Eddie Jones. Nice passing.
And Davis able to finish. Hornets up by 8. Jones thought he was fouled. Takes a look over at Kenny Maurer, has some words for him. And a 20-second timeout called by Stan Van Gundy.
Great start here, taking the crowd out. New Orleans has not been a good road team in the second half of the regular season. Right now, though, they are in complete control.
3 minutes gone by, first quarter of Game 5. Some NBA on TV, if necessary, of course. If the Nuggets win tonight on the road, it's going to be a tough task. Sunday on TNT, 8:30 Eastern, Game 6 of the Timberwolves and Nuggets back in Denver. And then Monday at 8 Eastern on TNT, Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, as the Nets and Pistons will play at Auburn Hills. Even though the Nets are the number 2 seed in the East, Pistons get it by better regular season record.
And last year in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Nets won those opening 2 games at Detroit. Jason Kidd Brilliant play at the end of both of those opening games, but Rasheed Wallace has been added to the mix as well as Tayshaun Prince. Big difference for the Pistons this year.
Sua Butler comes into the game. He's only played 14 minutes so far in the entire series, but foul trouble puts him up, and he knocks it down. Butler, a good shooter. He shot 46% from three-point range during the regular season. In limited duty, he can shoot the basketball.
Miami has been excellent in their execution out of timeouts. Unfortunately for them, they can't call a timeout on every play.
See Darrell Armstrong in the game as Baron Davis getting a breather.
Nice pass, Lynch.
Armstrong way off the mark. He has struggled shooting, especially here in Miami. Lynch forces it up, draws the foul, and Lynch will shoot a couple.
I see a New Orleans team that is together right now. All the stuff we've been talking about, not evident whatsoever.
Grant picks up his second foul. 3 starters with 2 fouls and a 5-point deficit for the Heat.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on ESPN.
On hand at the American Airlines Arena. As the Heat trailing by 5 with 2:13 remaining in the first. They've got some real foul problems. There's 3 starters who have 2. So Samaki Walker making an appearance. That's something Stan Van Gundy has been playing. Only 7 players have played all 4 games. The other 5 players only a combined 34 minutes.
Miami wants to push the ball, but the transition defense by the Hornets has been tremendous here. The wall of Teal back denying every attempt, and then the great defensive rebounding by P.J. Brown. Bad start for the Miami Heat. Foul trouble. Wade, Odom, Grant, arguably their 3 most important players out there, all with 2 fouls in the first quarter alone, and a horrendous shooting percentage to start.
So New Orleans go up by 6 off the free throw. They've already taken 9 free throw attempts, none so far for the Miami Heat.
How do you win on the road? Control the paint, the boards, get to the free throw line. In all 4 of these games, the team leading after the first quarter has won the game. If history is to hold here, Miami better get off the snide.
They need some solid play from their bench. Samaki Walker. Austin from 3.
The bench is not the strong point for the Miami Heat.
And Haslam with a good offensive rebound. The all-rookie second-teamer has done a solid job during the regular season. And they'll need him to play well here tonight.
Winningest player in the history of the University of Florida, Adonis Haslam.
Walker misfires, and George Lynch with another rebound. He's got 6 boards here in the opening period.
One of the problems for New Orleans, though, is Darrell Armstrong is so banged up himself, he can barely walk out there.
Oh, he's walking and running just fine. McGlure down low.
Anybody else would be in the hospital, Mike.
Stop it. McGlure. Nice move from Jamal McGlure. And that's his first field goal. This is the largest lead.
But Jamal McGlure, the reigning Eastern Conference Player of the Month from April, has been held in check by fine defense by Brian Grant. Brian Grant, though, is in serious foul trouble early.
Eddie Jones trying to draw the foul. Jones now 1 of 7. And he's complaining to the officials he felt he was fouled. David Wesley playing him very physically as Armstrong misfires.
You're telling me that Darrell Armstrong is fine? That guy can barely move out there. This guy is usually the fastest guy alive.
Austin steps back. Final minute, first quarter.
2 for 1 time. They've almost blown that opportunity.
Austin draws the foul. Armstrong with a bump. And Rafe Ralston will shoot 2.
Hornets foul number 3. Darrell Armstrong is first.
A reminder coming up on ESPN on Sunday. We'll be in New Orleans for Game 6 of this series, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then on ABC, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. Game 1 between the Lakers and the Spurs of the Western Conference semifinal. What a great matchup that'll be. Game 1 on ABC on Sunday.
Interesting, Mike, here with the first round. Never in NBA history is the first round tilted so unevenly, bereft of a single series advancement by a lower-seeded team.
Alston 1 of 2 on the first free throws from Miami. It's a surprise because you thought there'd be a lot of very competitive first-round series.
Well, this is the only series that has really built up a compelling story. Undecided in every way and seemingly headed for a full 7 games.
David West, another impressive rookie, puts it in. West had a terrific game in Game 4 in New Orleans. The rookie from Xavier.
From Teaneck, New Jersey, Xavier really the only school looking big time at him. Played for Skip Prosser there. Set a screen for Alston. Get a good shot here.
Did he get it off in time? Oh. They count it on the court, but that was very close. Haslam put it in. Jack Neese said count it, but it was very close, and they're going to go to the replay. It was a 2-pointer, and let's see.
Finally, something happening.
I don't know. I think he still had it in his fingers.
This is going to take more than one look.
Boy, how difficult is that to pick?
The red light is on and the ball's still in his hand.
Yeah, see, I didn't think it was good. Jack Neese signaled good on the court.
No, they can't count that one. It's still in his hands when the red light in the background is behind him.
From the baseline under the basket, it appeared that he certainly still had it in his hands. Baron Davis off to a good start, besides his bumps and bruises.
Watching 20th Century Fox's presentation of ESPN's Play Like There's No Tomorrow.
Second quarter set to begin. Miami down by 10. That basket was ruled no good as it was still in his hands. So Stan Van Gundy's team is down by 10. Of course, watching in the stands is his dad, who's with our Jim Gray.
That's right, the mainstay of the Van Gundy family. Bill Van Gundy, a coach himself, father of Jeff and of Stan. Bill, you were with Dwayne Wade in 2001. You took him over to Italy. Did you see how special of a player he was going to be all the way back then?
Jim, he is the most athletic guy I have ever been around in my life. I mean, he was spectacular. He went over there with the express objective of improving his shooting, which I don't think we did much of. But the people in Italy, he had the opposing teams applauding the plays that he made. I mean, he just is so explosive, and I mean, he plays so hard, and you know, he just like right there. He just is. He's just a great athlete, and when he learns to shoot it, they can't stop him.
Coach, let me ask you, what did you think Stan would do this year here? What was your expectation level?
I thought that the very best was 32 wins and hope to get 36 and get the last spot, and what they've done is unbelievable.
I want to ask you if you've talked to Jeff. Jeff, your grandpa, once again, he had a baby about 10 days ago. Have you talked to Jeff since he lost against the Lakers, and how's he doing?
No, I have not. I called him this afternoon, and I didn't get a return call. That might tell you.
Like you said before we came on, there's losing and misery, and it's not good. The Van Gundys are not good losers, huh?
No, we are not. Absolutely not.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good seeing you, Bill.
Okay, Jim.
Back to you, Mike.
You know, Jim, you had it right. You don't call him Bill. You don't call him Mr. Van Gundy. He deserves to be called coach. Over 40 years coaching in high school and in the college ranks. And, you know, to me, one of the great stories this year has been to see Stan Van Gundy and Jeff as head coaches. And they obviously played each other 2 times. Bill Van Gundy didn't want to go to the first game, and he didn't. But he said that he's glad he broke his promise. And he went to watch when the Rockets played the Heat the second time. And he said when the teams lined up for the national anthem and he saw his 2 sons out there as head coaches for the respective teams, there was an overwhelming sense of pride.
Is there anything better on earth than to see the success of your children? And what Stan and Jeff have done has just been remarkable. Stan here, the first team in the history of the NBA to be 11 games under 500 in March and still finish with a winning record. Dwayne Wade has made a remarkable impact since returning.
Wade rushed that a bit, but there's no question about it. Dwayne Wade is attacking the basket once again here in Game 5.
And a nice job by Stan Van Gundy, previous head coaching experience. Castleton State in Vermont. UMass Lowell, and then Wisconsin. I know he coached at Fordham as well. Did he coach you up at Fordham, Mike?
No, he was an assistant under Nick McCarchick in the days up at Fordham. But, of course, 6 years here with Pat Riley in Miami. And Pat Riley resigned just 4 days before the first game of the regular season as Rasul Butler knocks that down. That's not an easy thing. The players, of course, who had so much respect for Pat Riley, they were in a state of shock. And Stan Van Gundy said, I went in, I didn't ask for their respect, I didn't demand their respect. I told them if they would all stay on the same page, I would earn their respect. And what a terrific job he's done. He has absolutely earned their utmost respect. Offman misfires. P.J. Brown on the follow.
P.J. Brown has really played well in all aspects of this game. He slowed Lamar Odom down. He steadied his own team, anchored the defense.
And a foul, a blocking foul. It's going to go against Stacey Augmon.
With P.J. doing it all here, I asked him before the game what P.J. stands for, do you know? Peanut butter and jelly, which was his favorite food as a kid. And I said, are you kidding me, right? He said, no, I'm serious. No, I didn't get to ask his mom and dad. He said he hadn't had any peanut butter and jelly in 20 years. Nice passing.
Haslam dunks it in. His real name is Collier. And right now he's upset with an easy 2 for the Miami Heat as it's a 5-point lead for New Orleans.
Miami's a completely different team here in the second quarter. We're starting to see some of that open court brilliance that has become their trademark.
Plus they're putting the ball in the basket. You look at the athleticism of players like Wade and Jones and Butler and Alston. Their perimeter defense is so good. They can go down and double team in the low post, cause some problems, and then if it's kicked out, have enough athleticism to jump out and contest the open shot, 3-point shot, or in that case, deflect the pass.
And let's throw Haslam into that mix as well. Great closeout. Oh, what a shot. Aaron Davis, who made 5 unbelievable threes in game 4. Just hits another one right there.
Nobody in the NBA took more 3-pointers than Baron Davis this past season.
Which is probably not a good idea for your point guard when you got an overwhelming front line with power and strength.
Rasul Butler misfires and P.J. Brown with his 5th rebound.
P.J. always plays such a disciplined game. Nice weak side rotation there.
And a foul on Butler. David West will go to the free throw line as Rasul Butler picks up his 2nd. And we'll have a timeout. The Heat shooting much better here in the second quarter, but they're still in an 8-point hole.
You're watching the 2004 NBA Playoffs on ESPN. Presentation of the NBA Playoffs brought to you by Yahoo. It's a life engine. And the hot new Dairy Queen Flamethrower Burger. Do one carefully and DQ something different.
This update brought to you by Taco Bell. Kevin Frazier in the studio. We take a peek at our McDonald's NBA brackets and just one slot to be filled out west where the Nuggets and Timberwolves are still competing in the first round. Can the Timberwolves close the Nuggets out tonight? Dating back to '94, Denver has lost 5 straight road playoff games. And also, don't forget on Sunday, it's the series that many of us have been waiting for. Between them, they have won the last 5 NBA championships. It's the Lakers, Spurs, Game 1, 3:30 Eastern tip time. The whole day begins with GMC hang time at 3. Mike?
Kevin, thank you. You're a sellout crowd at American Airlines Arena, including the commissioner of the NBA, David Stern. Last week he was in Memphis, he was in Denver. Now here in Miami enjoying Game 5.
Congratulations to the commissioner just celebrating his 20th year. Mike, it was 29 years ago today that Larry O'Brien was named the 3rd commissioner in the history of the NBA, taking over for J. Walter Kennedy.
There you see the numbers. Heat 34%, but they've hit 4 of 7 to start this second quarter. The free throw disparity huge right now as David West misses the first. Now West, the rookie from Xavier, a terrific player. Didn't play a lot early because they've got some very good front court players. But how well did he play in game 4? Jamal McGloy, their all-star center, didn't play a second in the fourth quarter because West was playing so well.
David West, the 18th pick of this year's NBA draft out of Xavier. What a run Xavier had in the NCAA tournament this year, losing in the Elite Eight to Duke University.
Odom back on after the 2 quick fouls. Odom and Wade picked up 2 quick early fouls in the first quarter and sat for a good stretch.
Nothing's coming easy for Lamar. He's got to get running. He's got to get free of P.J. Brown, who is just committed to staying right inside Lamar's jersey.
Davis, good penetration. Augman wide open. And Stacey Augman, who's been huge, had 17 points in game 4. The veteran adding the scoring punch to his already good defense.
You always wonder with the loss of Jamal Mashburn. Remember, Courtney Alexander hasn't played all year for New Orleans. Where the offensive punch is going to come from. When Lynch, West, and Augman combine for 38 points in game 4, that's a great thing for Tim Floyd.
Boy, Davis played Wade very well there, made him double clutch. And Wade misfires. This is the largest lead of the first half, an 11-point advantage.
Key performances from game 4. 17 points and 6 boards from Augman. David West, 10 and 7. And then Lynch, always strong.
West, quick pass. Augman. Not that time, but David West the rebound. Showing some aggressiveness, but can't get it to go down.
But the transition defense for New Orleans has been very strong. That's an offensive foul on Odom. Oh, they're going to call that a block on Armstrong?
Odom, after he released it, goes barreling into Darrell Armstrong. Tim Floyd does not like the call as Armstrong picks up his second.
Critical call here. Tim Floyd in referee Joe DeRosa's face. Calm as can be. That's a tough call against New Orleans right there. That would have been Lamar Odom's third. Love that home court advantage.
Oh, you're stuck with that. The officials don't care. Jones, nice move from Eddie Jones. He was just 1 of 7, and that's his second field goal. They need him to do some scoring. Jones was their leading scorer at 17 a game during the regular season. He's only averaging 12 in the series.
And his field goal percentage is just plummeted.
But most plays on both teams. As a bad pass from Armstrong. Butler with his 3rd steal of the first half. Jones for 3. They wanted a...
The fake timeout. It almost worked.
The Heat had actually relaxed because Tim Floyd was calling for a timeout, but Baron Davis didn't call it, made the move. And now they'll call a full timeout. Meanwhile, Eddie Jones, who's been a big player for Miami, a couple of big shots. He's back within 6. Enjoying the Heat, trying to come back. They're down by 6 with 6.5 remaining in this first quarter in Miami. Of course, this year has been the year of the rookie. There's been a lot of good ones, but these 3 have really established themselves already. And not just because they score a lot, but they play the game the right way. They think team first. They look to be winners. They handle themselves so well on and off the court. And Wade has just been magnificent for the Heat, Bill.
All 3 of those rookies, unanimous selections, and the explosive performance of Dwayne Wade here in the first half has kept the Heat close. The ability to anticipate, figure out what's going to happen next, that defines quickness. The jumpers from the perimeter will open up lanes to the hoop that nobody else will be able to get to. His ability to make his teammates better, separating him from the crowd. And in a year dominated by LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony, this was a terrific rookie season by one Dwayne Wade.
And he really is playing a position point guard he never really played before. But Stan Van Gundy told us they really didn't have a lot of options. They wanted to put their best 5 players on the floor. He certainly was one of them. Oh, nice play! And the block from Butler.
Can Miami capitalize with the transition defense? This Hornet team is really committed to Tim Floyd's game plan tonight.
Players diving on the ball. Somehow it gets to Jones, and he calls a timeout.
I don't think he needed to call that timeout. He was wide open. He could have handed it off to Dwayne Wade.
They don't have a 20. They've already used that, so they're going to have to burn a timeout that time. Coaches don't like to do that early in the game, especially a game and a series that has gone this way. So many close ones. So we'll take a break. Be back after this timeout.
2004 NBA playoffs on ESPN.
Welcome inside Times Square Studio. Coming up on the Toyota Halftime Show, a verdict in on the Jason Williams trial. We will update that for you. Also, we'll give you a preview of the second game of the night, the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. But meanwhile, your thoughts on this game?
I mean, it's an exciting basketball game. Dwayne Wade's really proven to be worth all the hype that he had put on him during the regular season.
New Orleans fight Miami off that Game 7 kind of atmosphere we talked about. New Orleans is stepping up to the challenge, warding Miami off. Be careful.
We'll be here in just a few minutes on the Toyota Halftime Show. Let's go back to Mike and Bill. Guys.
Kevin, thanks. Dwayne Wade, he won Game 1 with a winning shot in the final seconds. Heat won Game 2 by 30. They're up 2-0. Comfortable. Then they go to New Orleans, lose 2 in a row, and here we are in Game 5, and Wade playing well again. Hasn't been a completely easy season. He admitted early in the year he was uncomfortable trying to learn the point, trying to learn life about the NBA. But he got through it and just continued to get better. Somebody who helps him get through it all the time. He's got an older sister, Tragil, who lives back in Chicago where they grew up. And because Dwayne Wade's parents separated when he was very young, Tragil really a big part of raising him. He said he was her shadow everywhere he went when he was a kid. And they still talk pretty much before every single game. And he credits her for having such a huge influence on his life.
Tragil, who's 5 years older than Dwayne, ironically now is a school teacher at the rival high school that they went to in Chicago. And Dwayne Wade at the All-Star Weekend this year in Los Angeles, he went up to Larry Bird and introduced himself to him at the All-Star Legends Luncheon. And it was really special to watch that from a distance, to see these different legends from different eras interact there. Dwayne Wade, tremendously respectful and quite knowledgeable of the historical impact of one Larry Bird.
Wade and Lamar Odom now helping the Heat to a 7-0 run. They're back within 4. And the defense strong again, a jump ball.
And that was Dwayne Wade that made it happen. They're trapping Baron Davis, which was Stan Van Gundy's game plan.
What Stan Van Gundy loves about Wade is that he doesn't really have an ego. He wants to learn. And he says if something happens to him early in the season where opponents figure things out, he says Wade adjusts extremely well. Just look at that hustle.
How about the acceleration, though, Mike, to come from the baseline and catch Baron Davis? Jack Neese not happy at all with Baron Davis taking so much time to get into this jump ball.
Wade missed a bunch of games with a wrist injury, and you see how the team struggled without him. But he's a very smart kid. He's not just a great athlete. He's got a real knowledge and a real desire to learn more. Well, that's what Stan Van Gundy says. He's so mature for his age, and he's very intelligent.
But you look now at the adjustments that Miami has made. They're starting to be the team that's pushing and shoving. The crowd's starting to come alive. If any of these shots would start to fall.
Augman quickly down the other end.
Mike, you might have noticed low scoring in this series. This has been the 3rd lowest scoring in the history of playoff basketball for any first 4 games since the inception of the shot clock. Yikes.
And the reason is, look at the defense. Look at the way the Heat rotate. And a reaching foul called on Eddie Jones. They're not in the penalty yet, so they'll take it out of bounds.
Since 1955, only Atlanta, Detroit in 99, New York, Miami, and Knicks Heat again right at the turn of the millennium with fewest points scored. Oh, goodness gracious.
You know what, though, Bill? I'm tired of people saying, oh, it's horrible to watch. Every shot, every pass contested. These are two teams really going at each other. And the defense a big reason. I love this kind of playoff basketball. And the defense forcing another turnover right there. And a technical foul on Baron Davis. He tells Jack Neese to get away from him.
And Jack Neese just pushes him off and says, what's going on here? Baron, beside himself, perplexed as to the turn of events. Miami is right there. The crowd coming back into it.
Well, what I think that's a cumulative technical. It's not like he said one single thing that set Jack Neese off. There's been a lot of complaining from coaches and players throughout, and it takes its toll.
And what New Orleans needs to do right now is just not say a word to the refs. Just back off and just get back to playing basketball. That is arguably a foul there on Eddie Jones over the top. Kicking the ball, a technical foul called by Jack Neese, right on top of the play.
It's been a very physical series. Oh, what a play by Wade. 10 straight points, the Heat back within one.
Tell you, Haslam is really playing ball.
And Ogman throws it away. This double team, help, recover defense, everything Miami's doing. It's like they've got 6 defenders out on the floor.
Udonis Haslam, undrafted, then goes and spends a year playing in France, comes back to the state of Florida, making a major impact. Second team, all rookie, Udonis Haslam.
And the Heat crowd fired up. Eddie Jones for 3. A 13-0 run by the Miami Heat, and they regain the lead. Baron Davis now doing the smart thing, trying to talk it over with Jack Neese and square things. But what a play from the rookie Dwayne Wade.
Well, you're splitting so many defenders. There's 3 guys right there. The wall of teal, which seems impenetrable. Only Dwayne Wade can find it. A seam. I think the Heat, the Hornets are making a mistake here. Just lay off the refs. They're starting to look for excuses and blame the refs.
I agree, but in Baron Davis's case, it's not a bad idea to go over to Jack Neese and say, hey, I didn't mean anything. I didn't think I deserved to check, and let's just try and square off and put it behind us. I think that's a smart play from Davis. Meanwhile, Dwayne Wade made that great move. But it's Eddie Jones who's come alive. He has 9 of the 13 points in this 13-0 run. Jones is key. He's the veteran. He's been through some playoff games before, and he's now starting to shoot the ball well. This has not always been a great crowd since they moved to the American Airlines Arena. The team had some rough seasons. They had a lot of empty seats, but they are fired up about this team. They've embraced this hard-working team as Ogman momentarily silences them.
If Stacey Ogman is going to make that perimeter shot, his career will extend well into the next decade here. Always a noted defender, never one to stick down that kind of shot with a consistency.
That ends a 13-0 run. It ends a 4-minute scoreless streak. Jones, that one halfway down. As McClure, you see back in the game.
Foul trouble. Now Wade and Odom have to be very careful here. Grant hasn't played much because of his foul trouble. Don't pick up anything silly. Momentum, everything going the Miami Heat way.
Boy, Odom really helping defend the pick and roll there. Wade stays right with Baron Davis, who gets himself a little bit of room and knocks it in.
That is an extremely difficult shot. But anyone who's ever played at UCLA, as Baron Davis did, will learn to kiss that ball off the board from that angle.
All right, now we've gotten through our UCLA mention. Davis with 13 points and 4 assists. Jones. That would have counted. And a blocking foul on Baron Davis. That's his first. And Eddie Jones, who has come alive here in the second period, he will shoot 2.
Davis, the UCLA legend who only played 2 years there, tore up his knee in a game in the NCAA tournament against Michigan. In fact, he was able to come back in his second year and overcome it. I can remember broadcasting those games in the early 90s with Baron Davis, and he could barely move then.
Well, he said when the season's over, he's going to go home and lie in his bed for 3 weeks. He is banged up. A lot of players are, although I like David Wesley, what he said the other day. He called his teammate a hypochondriac.
Which is as far from the truth as you can get. If you're not banged up at this time of the year, you're not playing.
Eddie Jones with a couple of free throws to tie it again.
Miami's defense has just come alive here in the second quarter. And the step-out double teams on Davis, electric.
Again, Odom plays that so well with his long arms and his quickness. One on the shot clock, just gets it off, and he puts it in. How many times did that happen in Game 4? Shot clock winding down. They just have to flip it up towards the basket, and it goes in. Davis, meanwhile, 5 of 7 from the field.
There's Dwayne Wade showing the weakness of his handle.
It's a very improving handle, however, as Butler with another rebound, but Russ to follow.
Nice patience by Augment. Wade has to be careful. Nothing silly in terms of fouls.
Again, Odom there with the help defense. P.J. Brown, nice move inside. And P.J. Brown having a strong first half. He's got 8 points and 5 rebounds. Lead back up to 5 for New Orleans. You see the wincing and the hobbling. Wade, explosive move with the left hand.
Barron seems to hobble more on defense.
Didn't hobble so much going to the basket that time.
That was like Jim Brown. Just stay on the ground until they snap the next ball, and then you're off to the races.
18 points for Baron Davis, 12 for Dwayne Wade. Coming up on a minute remaining.
P.J. Brown so disciplined defensively, just outthinking Lamar Odom right now.
Odom better be careful. He's upset. He's been arguing with officials. He's got 2 fouls and needs to lay off.
Good rotation by the Heat.
Well, their defense has been so impressive. As has New Orleans. P.J. Brown comes up short, and Odom with a rebound.
2 for 1 time. Push it if you're the Heat. Get this crowd going.
Eddie Jones is out of hot second quarter. He tried to draw a foul. It's still going to be Heat ball with 16 on the shot clock.
P.J. Brown, who plays the weak side man on the rotating defense as well as anyone in the entire NBA, broke up that play once again. Fans can't believe that their beloved Heat are not going to the line.
And there's a foul on McGlure. Sarcastic cheer from the crowd as Haslam will shoot a couple. I think the way this game has gone, Bill, the officials, they need to tighten this up a little bit more because, yes, you want to let them play. You want to let it be a physical game, but it's getting a little bit out of hand, and you kind of have to set a tone early.
But the third quarter will not be tightly called at all. That is where this series is going to be determined, and the third quarter in this series has been owned by the Miami Heat.
Reminder, coming up next here on ESPN, it's Game 5 from the Target Center in Minneapolis. The Timberwolves looking to advance to the second round for the first time as they host the Nuggets. They lead it 3-1.
The third quarter of this game coming up in just about 20 minutes will be as fierce a basketball as we have seen all season long.
Second free throw good. Stan Van Gundy doing the smart thing by taking his 2 guys with the 2 fouls, Odom and Wade, out for the final half minute.
But he puts Brian Grant in, who's got 2 fouls himself. What about Malik Allen or some of the other guys in the end of that bench?
Grant has played McGlure very well in this series. McGlure wants the ball, but he hasn't seen it much.
It's been a testy confrontation between McGlure and Grant.
And that's the kind of shot you'd give up. Oh, they lost the ball, and Davis right there. Austin and Haslam had some miscommunication and an easy 2 for Davis.
And now Miami's just wasting too much time here. You got to be on the dead run here if you're Rafer Alston.
Alston finding Grant. Grant puts it in with 4/10 of a second remaining.
What perfect use of the shot clock.
That one, doesn't count though, as the buzzer clearly sounded. David Wesley,
what a game
from 3/4 court. But a terrific first half, as intense as you will find. 2 teams knotted at 2 games apiece. The all-important Game 5. And Wade with 12 points. Meanwhile, the leading scorer's got 20, and he's with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Baron, everything on your body is beaten up. We displayed it before the game. How have you managed to come out here and dominate offensively with 20 points?
I was just working hard trying to get to the basket. I think I did a good job of getting to the free throw line and give me a rhythm offensively, and my teammates been looking for me.
You just had a conversation with P.J. Brown. You weren't too happy with your teammates. What is it exactly that you guys aren't thinking well out here?
No, it's not that. It's just we have to be able to close out quarters the way we want to. That's 2 open jumpers that they got at the end of each quarter. And you take that away, we have 8 points. So, I'm just telling the guys to be focused and let's not give up an open jumper in the next time.
Final thought, what's it like to chase Dwayne Wade around?
It's tough, man. He's quick.
Good luck in the second half, Baron. Mike.
All right, Jim. Hornets jumped out, led by as many as 11. Miami came back and took the lead, and now it's a 4-point New Orleans lead. Coming up at halftime, the Toyota Halftime Show, Jason Williams' verdict, and the Nuggets Timberwolves preview. That's all coming up. Halftime of Game 5, a 4-point New Orleans lead.
Toyota Halftime Show.
What a half of basketball. Dwayne Wade, 12 points in the first half. He had just 13 points in 2 games in New Orleans.
You know, big-time players step up when the time is big.
Well, right now, big-time game. 46-42, the Hornets with the lead. And welcome to Times Square. The McDonald's NBA bracket board hanging out in Times Square. One spot in the East, one spot in the West to fill so that we get everybody into the semifinals in the next round. What a game so far. We'll hear from Greg Anthony and Stephen A. Smith in a moment. But first, big news. The verdict was handed down in the Jason Williams murder trial on Friday. And the former New Jersey Nets star was found guilty on 4 of the 8 charges that he faced. Williams, more importantly, acquitted on the most serious charge, aggravated manslaughter in the shooting death of Kostas Christofi. Collectively, though, the charges carry a max penalty of 13 years. No date has been set for sentencing yet. We move on, guys, and what a first half of basketball down in Miami. And Greg, you called it a Game 7 beforehand, and it's looked like a Game 7.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, if you look at this basketball game right now, Miami, you have to be a little concerned for them because they've really had to extend themselves physically to get back in the basketball game. The way they trap on the pick and roll, you wonder if New Orleans can make the adjustments to take advantage of that. Right now, rebounding and dominating the game.
Eddie Jones has 13 points. He's leading the Miami Heat. He's only shooting 4 for 14 from the field, but what I like about it is he's taking the shots. Someone other than Dwayne Wade is being aggressive. That's what you need to beat the Hornets. And somebody get the ball out of Baron Davis and do something with him. You got to stop him. Unbelievable.
Yeah, but one more big point for New Orleans, get Jamal McGlure involved in the basketball game. This guy's an all-star. He only got 2 shots in that first half. He did get 7 rebounds. If you get him going offensively, he becomes more of a dominant force on both ends.
All right, so great first half. We still have a second game to go. Denver and Minnesota, and that is a pivotal Game 5 in that series. And the big news is the health of Carmelo Anthony. Let's check in with Brad Nessler for more.
Kevin, there's a guy at 34 years of age who has never started a playoff game, and now John Barry is the man of the hour for the Denver Nuggets. We anticipate he'll start in a 3-guard offense tonight for Denver. They're here in Minnesota, and Carmelo Anthony, who hasn't practiced in 2 days, said earlier maybe 50-50 that he'd play. We think it's more like 90-10. He had a terrible game the other night when he was injured. He was only 1 for 16, but they lose their franchise player, and they have a whole different look to him tonight. And with that different look, do they have a chance, Dan?
Well, Brad, they'll always have a chance. And even though John Barry has never started in a game, he's played in 54 playoff games. So he knows the type of atmosphere is going to be here tonight. So he's got to come out fired up, play with a lot of energy, shoot the ball well, along with Fashawn Leonard. And if they do that, they have a chance.
Minnesota with an opportunity. Everybody knows the story. 7 straight years, 7 outs in the first round. 20,400 tonight. And here, Sean, are expecting them to close things out tonight.
Yeah, they'll be in a state of shock if Minnesota doesn't win this ball game. The Timberwolves have to come out. They need to get some interior scoring. I said it since day one. I like Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell, but they've got to get some interior points.
Well, we'll see how the new rivalry goes, if you want to call it that. Here's some looks at Game 4, and it got pretty intense. It got pretty chippy. Let's face it, this isn't the Packers and the Vikings, but with the realignment of the NBA next year, these 2 teams will be in the same division, and they've got a great start to a brand new rivalry going. But all the talk is over. All the woofing is done. The talking's over. The walking's about to begin. Kevin?
Brad, thanks a lot.
Oh, yeah. Latrell Sprewell, one of the most emotional players in the NBA. And when he gets emotional, he's also one of the very best. He's one of those guys you want to let that sleeping dog lie.
Yeah, don't mess with Spree. Dwayne Wade rolling. We'll be back with more in a moment.
This halftime show is presented by the all-new Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-sized. Back to the Toyota halftime show.
Baron Davis was simply sensational in the first half. 20 points for the point guard. He was 7 of 9 from the floor. No other Hornet has scored 20 points in a game this series. Baron carrying the weight of his team. You know, in 1999, Sean Elliott and the San Antonio Spurs celebrated their first NBA championship as David Robinson finally made it to the promised land. The next year, Phil Jackson arrived in L.A. and the Lakers won it. They followed it up by plowing through the playoffs, and then they finished off the three-peat in 2002. Last year, David Robinson went out in style as he won the NBA championship. The Spurs and the Lakers kick off their semifinal series on Sunday. The game tips off at 3:30 GMT. Hang time starts today at 3 Eastern. Now, in their head-to-head series this year, Tim Duncan and Tony Parker missed the first game, but that's it. Lakers won the season series 3-1. And as we look at this series, the thing that everybody's been waiting for, Stephen A., your expectations.
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I appreciate that. First of all, Rasho Nesterovic, you can talk about San Antonio all you want, but it doesn't mean anything unless he shows up. When I think about the Lakers, I think about Karl Malone, Gary Payton, starving for a world championship. I think about Rick Fox needing to step up, show up, host my man, and Kareem Rush and Devin George get some significant playing time. I'm picking the Lakers.
You know, for me, this series really, it's all about the role players on both teams. You know the superstars are going to be that, just that, superstars. But the role players, I think, ultimately determine who wins this series. Can Manu Ginobili have a big impact? Will he be consistent? He has not been as consistent during the playoffs thus far. I think that's going to be the real key.
All right, Phil Jackson said, once you've been to San Antonio, you've been there enough. That's why the Lakers will come home between games 1 and 2. Phil making friends in another small NBA market.
Speak the truth.
All right, and meanwhile, getting ready for the second half of this game should be fantastic. Baron Davis versus Dwayne Wade at 46-42. And don't forget, later this evening, game 2 of our double dip. Will Carmelo Anthony hit the floor? He has that sprained left knee. The Nuggets will need him. Game 5 between the Timberwolves and Nuggets. That's coming up next. But first, our second half.
This halftime show is presented by the all-new Toyota Tundra Double Cab. Not just big, life-sized. For NBA playoffs on ESPN.
They do things differently down here in Miami than a lot of other places in the United States. Meanwhile, here at American Airlines Arena, that's not American Airlines Arena, I promise you.
Why not?
The Heat trailed by 4, and the 2 stars have played so well.
Head-to-head at the point position, Baron Davis early on, 20 big points, slashing, getting to the hoop, playing, battling through the injuries. But then Dwayne Wade, unanimous first-team All-Rookie, the 4th rookie in Heat history to ever do that. Make first-team All-NBA rookie down the lane time and time again. Who can stop him? Creative, imaginative, spectacular. The defensive end has been his domain as well, although he's down a little bit in the head-to-head matchup. All the numbers, Mike, have gone for the New Orleans Hornets. They're ahead in field goal percentage and rebounds and getting to the free throw line, all the critical ones, yet they have a very tenuous 4-point lead. It's going to be tough for them to hold off this crowd as this young Miami team comes surging back.
You know, this series has taken a lot of hits because they don't score a lot of points, but you won't find 2 teams playing any harder or more competitive, especially on the defensive end. It's been really exciting to watch how hard they're contesting every pass, every shot.
And the excitement here as the crowd surging toward a climatic finish here is going to be really thrilling to watch, because these young players moving, charging off of this crowd, feeding off it really here. And now you've got a situation where Lamar Odom, Dwayne Wade, and Caron Butler have to step to the front.
All right, let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Tim Floyd told his guys, according to Steve Smith, too many turnovers. They had 9. He wants them to be much more judicious with the ball in the second half, make an extra pass instead of trying to force a pass. As for Stan Van Gundy, told his guys, hey, we have to play through the fouls. Don't get caught up in the officiating here in the second half. Stick to your game. Don't let anything deter you from what your mind is set at. Mike?
Odom, Jim drives and lost the ball that time. A key for Miami was in that second quarter. They didn't turn the ball over once. It's one of the reasons why they scored 28 points in the second period.
After having 4 turnovers, which plagued them mightily in the first.
Lynch left wide open. And that one hit hard off the backboard.
The big guys, Mike, are really not doing it right now for either team. And this is where Lamar Odom has to show what a skilled player he is.
Excellent boxing out from McGlure. Ball knocked loose, and last touch by Grant.
Jamal McGlure, who wears that sleeve on his left elbow due to a severe case of bursal inflammation in that elbow. You can see when you get up close that when he straightens his elbow out, a huge sack of fluid, making it extremely difficult to even move his elbow.
You have to be that descriptive. David Wesley, nice fake, able to get it back. And Wesley can't connect. Brian Grant hauls that one in. Wade, blocking foul on Baron Davis, and that's going to be his second.
I'm amazed by the acceleration capability of Dwayne Wade.
It's nice to be just 22 years old. But the thing about it, Bill, and he's like Baron Davis in this, they combine the speed and the quickness with strength. Dwayne Wade is very strong as well.
You look at his body, and you just, I know jealousy is a bad thing, but...
Grant lost it. Eddie Jones lost it. Dwayne Wade finds it and draws the foul. And George Lynch upset with that particular call, but it's not against him, it's against McGlure.
Basketball is a game of change of pace, change of direction. He's coming up, just loping along, and all of a sudden, bam, one move, and there's nothing the defender can do other than just go to the ground. Punishing weapon here, Dwayne Wade.
You know, Dwayne Wade, we talked earlier about his relationship with his sister, that she helps him in so many ways. Another person that's really helping this year is Caron Butler, as the two of them played AAU together. Wade from Chicago, Butler from Milwaukee, close. And in high school, they played a lot of AAU. And when he was drafted, when Wade was drafted by Miami, Butler called him when he came up here to work out and see the team for the first time. Butler was here, and he's really helped him adapt to going from the college game to the pro game. Two terrific young players who really give so much promise to this Miami franchise. Davis, tough shot, puts it in with Jones all over him.
And Baron Davis talking to Eddie Jones. Remember, it was Eddie Jones that was the veteran mentor for Baron Davis in Charlotte.
Butler can't connect. P.J. Brown, quick outlet. Lynch is not the guy you want leading the break.
Yeah, but he's smart enough to wait and give it to Wesley.
Absolutely.
Good closeout by Odom.
Good bounce pass to Lynch and a foul. Butler says yes. The crowd doesn't agree, but Butler raises his hand and he picks up his first. And some free throws coming up now for New Orleans as we go back to Jim Gray.
Hey, Mike, there's a common thread between Dwayne Wade and Baron Davis, and it's Eddie Jones. Eddie was with Baron Davis when he was a youngster, when they both played together in Charlotte. Baron credits Eddie for teaching him the rope, helping him out, understanding the playoffs. And I talked to Eddie before the game, and he also said that Dwayne Wade has been picking his brain. So he's been a mentor to both. And if you take a look at it right here, looks like Eddie Jones taught Baron Davis pretty well.
Butler off the missed free throw. And, you know, Baron Davis has always appreciated older players who have helped him. And he's doing the same thing, not only with his teammates, as Wesley called for a foul. He's done it with Dwayne Wade. Here are these two guys, Davis and Wade, facing each other, battling each other in a hard-fought series. And Davis has taken the time a couple of times to give some encouragement to Wade. In fact, when Wade, in an earlier game, had that 5-second violation, didn't get the ball in bounds, Davis went over to him, patted him on the back, and said, hey, hang in there. Next time, just call a timeout. How about that? An opponent showing that kind of sportsmanship in the middle of the heat of the battle. And Jones misfires that time. Quick release from Wesley down the other end. Oh, pretty play from David Wesley.
And perfectly positioning himself. Miami is squandering a golden opportunity. They have come out not sharp. They're overthinking the situation. They've got to get running.
Well, they fell behind early in the first half, came back nicely. Still obviously only early in the third. As New Orleans come out strong here to begin the third. 2.5 gone by, third quarter of game 5. 8-point Hornets lead.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Jeep. Trail-rated capability, only in a Jeep 4x4. Cisco Systems. This is the power of the network. Now, Fidelity Investments. Stop by your local Fidelity Investor Center today. And Cell Boost. Instant battery power for your cell phone.
Early third quarter in Miami. And another Dolphin on end. We've seen quite a number watching the Heat. There's Ricky Williams. As the Heat have fallen behind 51-43 with 2.5 gone by in this third period.
What a crowd here watching Baron Davis put on a tremendous display of hitting the difficult shots. Now, in Game 4, he made 3 of the most unbelievable shots you've ever seen, and he's continued that here, which was contrary to what happened in the first 2 games here, because the first 2 games, Baron Davis struggled mightily, only made 7 of 29 baskets. But tonight, he's got 22 points already, 5 assists, belying the fact that he should probably be lying in a hospital bed somewhere with all the injuries to that left side.
You are the king of exaggeration.
You didn't see him walk in this morning.
I saw you walk in.
But I'm 51 years old and had 32 operations and 2 fused ankles and can't play a lick.
Meanwhile, the Hornets are shooting 47% from the field. I think that's remarkable considering how well. Tough shot from Odom. And that's the thing. These teams are playing so tough defensively, yet guys are hitting tough shots. Davis, as we saw, hit those. And how about Odom with that difficult one?
You can't play any better defense than P.J. Brown did right there. Now, but Ryan Grant stepping out, that's not his comfort zone, that far from the basket.
McGlory's been quiet. Lynch, the offensive rebound, and tried to call a timeout. Did he get it? No, he stepped out of bounds. He tried to call time.
You can't jump out of bounds and call timeout anymore.
If you're both feet are in the air and you're across the vertical plane of either the baseline or the sideline, you're not allowed to call timeout.
The question is, was he pushed out here? Absolutely not. Good call by the referee.
You used to be able to do that, but they changed the rule a couple of years back.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that hurt good defense sometimes. Shot clock winding down. Wade, tough fall-away shot. And Davis comes up with a loose ball. Baron Davis, the game's leading scorer with 22. Tough shot and a foul. Hursty beat Butler off the dribble and then protected the ball beautifully and lead back up to 8-24 for Davis.
Lamar Odom has had so many opportunities to send a lot of these shots back. He's just been very tentative, and those 2 early fouls hurt him immeasurably. Generally, you think about pushing Baron Davis to his left, get him in the middle where you have help.
Butler is second foul. How about this? Davis, who's shooting in the series just 34% from the field. He's 9 for 11 tonight. He's hit 8 straight from the field, and he puts New Orleans up by 9.
Well, Baron Davis only shot 39% from the floor in the regular season. Not a high percentage shooter himself.
Jones kicked it out of bounds. New Orleans ball. As the third quarter in the first several games have all belonged to Miami. That's been a big quarter in this series. They've outscored them at an average of 24-15, but so far here in the third, New Orleans has turned it around.
Obviously, Tim Floyd making all the right moves coming into this game. And the sense of purpose, determination, poise, and confidence that the Hornets have played with has been truly inspirational tonight.
Again, the good help defense, P.J. Brown. Powers inside, knocked loose. Lynch can't connect. Brown's foul won't go.
The undersized Heat getting pushed under their own defensive backboard. There's that acceleration again.
Well, Davis looked like he arm-checked Wade.
He looked like he played for the Miami Dolphins.
And Odom draws the foul as he goes to the basket. So 2 free throws coming up. Lynch picks up his first. Get an all-access look at the NBA playoffs. Tune into the NBA TV playoff show, Destination Finals. That's every weeknight on NBA TV. You know, Bill, so often you'll hear the criticism from some fans. Oh, nobody plays any defense in the NBA. And then you get a series like this where the defense is so impressive. People say, they're not scoring enough. It just it boggles my mind how people can criticize this series because they're playing so hard. Yes, it's not the prettiest game. Yes, the shooting can be down, but the defense is so intense by both teams. I find these series sometimes more enjoyable to watch than a run and gun them like a Dallas-Sacramento.
This is not your first NBA game, is it tonight, Mike?
It's one of my first.
One of your first? Unless you have been in there in the arena and witnessed the remarkable athleticism, the passion, the commitment, the incredible conditioning level of this player, the pace of the game, it's very difficult to get that true appreciation of what these world's greatest athletes are doing out here.
Did you just pull a, you've never played this game, so you don't know routine on me?
No. I would never do that.
Odom got poked in the eye, but will still bring it up.
And I don't believe that either.
Odom steps back. Lamar Odom with 11 points. And the Heat back within 6.
The experience of the New Orleans Hornets, though. Strong starts to each half. Get to the foul line. Get your main guy the ball every single time.
Again, Odom plays that pick and roll so well, makes it difficult for Davis to get the ball. Brown, though, takes his time. Blocked by Odom. McClure gets it back. McClure once again. And a foul.
But that's what happens when you get pushed under your own basket defensively. You're going to eventually get whistled for the foul. That's why the Lakers are so good with Shaquille O'Neal, who just wears you down, and that's what the experienced, bigger, more powerful Hornets are doing right now. One attempt. Nobody can stick it in, but they just persistently stay with it.
You know, in that play, McClure gets the rebound. He goes to the line. He'll get 2 free throws. But George Lynch made that play. All he did was tip the ball to keep it alive. That's the type of typical intangible play that George Lynch makes time and time again. He tells the story of Dean Smith. Gave him advice when he was at Carolina. You can be the best player on the floor without scoring. He took that to heart, and he has made a fabulous NBA career out of it.
The opportunity, the chance of a lifetime to play for a Dean Smith, and the experience really paying off here. The number of games that this Hornet team has been involved with the playoffs.
Wade, reach and foul. Oh, and then a hard foul afterward, and a technical foul called on McClure.
Nice job by Wade just to get up and walk away, let other guys handle it.
First the personal on Davis, and then they call a technical on McClure because the hit came after the whistle.
But generally, if you're McClure there, you want to come over and make some contact, but not the kind that levels him. Just grab him so that he cannot get a continuation play.
So this is a technical free throw, and Jones misses. So McClure has a technical. Baron Davis has a technical. Let's watch it.
The explosion, the change of pace, and then the neck tackle by Jamal McClure, uncalled for.
Yeah, there was no need for that.
That's why as a big man, you want to come and put your whole body, get your chest in front of him.
And you see Rasul Butler making sure Wade doesn't retaliate and get himself involved in anything. Now this is the 2-shot personal because New Orleans is in the penalty. Davis picked up his 3rd foul. Free throw shooting has been poor for Miami, 7 of 13.
But this is a situation where the Miami Heat should capitalize on their fresh legs and the fact that they're such a young team. They should be running up and down. You got 3 games now every other day, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday. That should be in Miami Heat's favor.
Wade with 14 points to lead the Heat in scoring.
Got to make that guy coming off that high pick and roll turn back.
McClure, nice fake from McClure. Odom recovers and gets the block, but look who's there. And a foul called. Odom has just picked up his 4th, and he's hot.
The inability to control your defensive backboard. How are you going to win if you can't grab a simple rebound? You have to play position defense.
Yeah, well, the Heat they're one of the smallest teams going, and the Hornets are a big team. They knew coming in it was going to be a problem.
Easy play to call. You hack down like that on a guy who's got the ball in perfect position.
So Lamar Odom is going to have to sit down with his 4 fouls. When Wong Juju comes in, he's played a total of 3 minutes in the series.
But one of the reasons why he's coming in right now is he spent a lot of time yesterday in practice getting touches and refreshed into the system. Wong Juju is a guy who can knock down perimeter shots, and that's what the Heat desperately need right now.
So Odom with the 4 personals. P.J. Brown hits the 2nd and lead back up to 9.
Ron Butler slipped on a real wet floor there. The ball boys have got to get that under control. Incredibly dangerous.
And they do, Bill.
Zone defense here.
Darrell Armstrong in there. Grant. Big shot from Grant to cut it to 7. It's still early, but this is the type of game that it's so difficult to score at times that you don't want to fall behind by too many.
But Tim Floyd has taken Baron Davis out, who has been playing huge minutes here. Can Darrell Armstrong keep the spark going here? Turnover.
Eddie Jones. Nice finish from Jones, and it's back to a 5-point game. Timeout, New Orleans.
The mishandling of the ball in a relatively error-free game. Darrell Armstrong just into the tilt. Eddie Jones able to convert in transition. The Miami Heat are right back in this thing.
The home team has won all 4 games in the series. The road team right now is leading Game 5.
Set to take on the Nuggets in Game 5 of that series. The Associated Press reporting that Carmelo Anthony will not play in this game. Let's go back to Mike Breen.
They took an early timeout. All right, thank you very much, Kevin. With the commissioner, David Stern, celebrating his 20th year as commissioner of the NBA. David, we heard so much about Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James, who won the Rookie of the Year. What do you think of this Dwayne Wade?
I tell you what, all the attention those guys were getting let this young man blossom in almost anonymity, but here he is leading this team with others to the playoffs and performing like a seasoned veteran. He's fun to watch.
David, I'd like to ask you about the Indiana Pacers, who potentially, if this goes 7 games, will be sitting out there for 12 days, and that can very possibly break their rhythm. How about the long layoff in between these series and in between these games?
It could possibly break their rhythm, or it could really give them a chance to heal a lot of wounds and be ready to go. So it works both ways when you have a 7-game series.
You've got the Lakers, who are your marquee team, playing the San Antonio Spurs, who are your defending champions. Was it your idea that one of those 2 teams would be eliminated in the second round?
I don't have an idea. That's the beauty of the draw. Whatever happens, happens.
The Olympic Games are coming up this summer. Kobe Bryant today said that he's not going to be able to make it. We've heard Kevin Garnett probably won't play, amongst many others who are on the team. What is your assessment of the guys who will play, and who do you expect to be in uniform?
I don't have a particular player, but we have 370-plus players. Figure we have 70 international players. If the U.S., from the 300 American players in the NBA, can send a competitive team, woe is to all of us. I'm not worried.
But you're not exactly sure who will comprise of the team?
I don't know. That's a USA basketball decision. But it's going to be a good team. I know that.
David, the lopsided nature of this first round, does that concern you at all this year? It's been much more competitive in the past.
Well, it happens year to year. This one is, 1 beat 8, 2 beat 7, and 3 beat 6, as it maybe someone say it's supposed to be. And here we have 4 and 5 waging a small war. So some years you get 6 games and 7. Some years you get 4 games and 5. That's why this is unscripted reality. We've been reality programming for almost 60 years, and you just never know.
It's been some great stuff. You have been out to Memphis, Milwaukee, Denver, and now here in Miami. I know you're not a betting man, and we usually don't talk about gambling, but what was the odds of those 4 making it before the season starts?
It's a trifecta plus. We could have cleaned up if I were a betting man. But that's what's fun about our game. Our fans get a chance to root their teams on, and sometimes they get rewarded by a good management, trades, draft picks, a little bit of luck, some good coaching. That's what the game is about.
David, thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you throughout the playoffs.
Thanks for having me.
Back to you, Mike.
Jim, thank you. Last foul on Brian Grant was his 3rd. Just under 4.5 remaining. 3rd period. Hornets still with a 6-point lead.
Speaking of good management, Pat Riley doesn't get enough credit. Another turnover here.
And Wade trying to dive on it. A 24-second violation. That's the right call because Miami never had possession of the ball. Tim Floyd, I don't think, likes it. Jack Neese, they waited a couple of seconds. The thing is in that is if the defensive team that forces the 24-second violation has a chance for a fast break, then they don't blow the whistle so they don't hurt them. But because he didn't have possession of the ball, never really had it, they'll call the violation.
I thought the ball hit Dwayne Wade's foot, and that's why it got away from him.
Watch, he never had possession.
But he kicked the ball.
They had to wait and see if it was going to negate an easy fast break. Now I think they may have lost the ball that time.
High screen and roll with Wong Juju, who can step back and definitely hit that shot.
Wade up. Oh, lots of offensive foul. They wave it off.
Dan Van Gundy is beside himself.
McGlure stepped in, and that's the third foul on Dwayne Wade.
That's a very tough call. Down the lane here, arguably a traveling violation. His ability, I don't know. He's already in the air, and the guy's moving in underneath him.
Let's see. No, he's there.
That's a 7-footer falling backwards.
It doesn't matter. I think that's the good call.
I completely disagree.
So Odom will sit down. He already sitting down with the 4 fouls, and now 3 fouls on Wade. McGlure has been very quiet offensively. That's just his second field goal. And it gives the Hornets an 8-point lead.
Miami keeps fighting back and getting so dangerously close, tantalizing, and then just falling apart with their own self-inflicted wounds. Zone defense here by the Min and Teal.
Butler. And here's we have the thin bench and the foul trouble causing problems. Wang Juju just couldn't handle a pass.
Well, he's not a strong finisher inside. Why would you even think about throwing it?
Davis against Alston. McGlure misses. I think there's somebody in the stands who has a whistle. Yeah, we keep hearing a whistle by where we are. The players aren't stopped by it. Oh, Eddie Jones. Beautiful move from Eddie Jones. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of contact on every single time somebody goes to the basket. 17 points for Jones.
Talk about explosive change of pace, change of direction with Baron Davis. Lynch, P.J. Brown, and McGlure played a solid physical game up front for Tim Floyd.
Here in this third quarter, 5 offensive rebounds for the Hornets, 0 for the Heat.
Baron Davis didn't sit out very long.
Lynch can't hit, and Grant the rebound.
Push the ball if you're Miami here. Don't get in a stand-around, set-up game.
Alston.
Oh, God. Did somebody open the door? We've had whistles here. We've got the doors open.
You see the pained expression on Van Gundy's face before.
This guy, Rafer Alston, was a top 10 3-point shooter in this year's NBA.
It's the playoffs, and this one, Game 5 of this first-round series. Tied at 2. The home team has won all 4 games. And this home team, the Miami Heat, have won 14 in a row on their home floor. The last 12 of the regular season in games 1 and 2 of this series.
Have not won in this building this year.
Lynch, wild shot. Lynch again.
Whoa.
And it goes out of bounds. Heat ball.
Bodies everywhere.
And some extracurricular stuff. Lynch, Alston, Grant.
People are stepping on Eddie Jones's face out there. I mean, George Lynch is not going to start or get into a fight out there. He's always the master of control.
Lynch upset with something. You know, in a close game, you don't want to take a chance of getting technicals being thrown out. This is where you have to just forget about who challenged you, just walk away for the sake of your team.
That wasn't Lynch. He was in a pile-up in the scrum, and then other players from Miami came over and started shoving him.
So, double technical fouls on Alston and Lynch. What that means, you don't shoot any free throws, but each player gets a technical, so they're 1 technical away from being automatically ejected.
A wild scramble for the ball. Bodies going everywhere. He's down there on the floor. He's doing nothing. Somebody comes over. They start pushing him. Rafer Alston.
See, that's what started it. Right. Lynch was over Eddie Jones and just waiting for the play to finish. And Alston pushed him off. Lynch wasn't doing anything malicious standing over Eddie Jones like that.
These are seasoned veterans who know that these games were going to be tough and rough.
Our statistician David Freed just points out to me that Lynch, for all the good he's done on the boys, he's 0 for 8 from the field.
And they're ahead by 6.
Alston, nice feed to Grant. And it's a 4-point game.
New Orleans defenders on the perimeter have to do a better job of denying penetration.
Wesley answers back, and he came down on the foot of Jones and comes hobbling.
notice how Baron Davis went right back out. He wasn't in there very long.
Probably given a rest the end of the third quarter. Eddie Jones again. Haslam blocked for the foul. McGlure stopped the basket, but he picks up his third personal, and Udonis Haslem will shoot two.
Every time guys like Alston or Eddie Jones or Dwayne Wade turn that corner and come down the lane, the big guys have to step up, and that's why guys like Haslem and Grant are wide open at the basket for throwdowns.
How about a guy like Udonis Haslem, the rookie playing in his first playoff series? He was born in Miami, went to school in high school at Miami Senior, went to college at the University of Florida. Now he gets to play his professional basketball right here in the city he was born in, and playing in a big-time playoff series with some clutch free throws in a close game. I don't know if you can dream it up much better than that.
Well, the dream that Pat Riley has put together here.
He wasn't drafted a couple of years ago, and as you mentioned earlier, played in France last year before signing as a free agent this season.
He said it really helped him a year away from basketball in this country to get a greater appreciation for what goes on. 2-for-1 time for New Orleans. Can they capitalize?
Oh, Wesley Travers. A reminder on our NBA calendar, if necessary, tomorrow night, Sunday night on TNT, 8:30 Eastern. It's the Timberwolves and Nuggets from Denver. That, of course, if Denver wins tonight in Minnesota. And then Monday, game one of the Eastern Conference semis, Nets and Pistons from Auburn Hills.
Miami has a chance for 2-for-1 themselves, with the possession so critical. Don't know why they're passing on it.
Eddie Jones misses the three.
Great box out by McGlure, David West, Stacey Augmon.
Jones staring at Jack Neese as he came down the floor. And a technical foul called on Ray for Austin.
He's gone. He had the first one.
That's where you get caught in trouble with those double technicals. He's automatically ejected. Two technicals, you're automatically out.
And with foul trouble plaguing Dwayne Wade, Stan Van Gundy is going to pull his hair out.
Oh, and Austin can't believe it. Obviously don't know what he said, but as they were going down the other end of the floor, he was drawing it. It appears it's a taunting technical. Austin,
he just got to walk out of here. Just get off the court and go to the locker room. Can't believe that Caron Butler is the guy who's over there being the peacemaker here. Obviously, Austin losing his mind.
See, that's where you get caught. You get involved in the pushing and shoving. And you get a technical, which is a double technical. You say, oh, it doesn't hurt the team. But then all of a sudden you get involved in one more thing and you're automatically gone, and that hurts the team. In a huge game like this, although Wesley misses it. Let's look now in the replay. Bottom left corner, Austin and David Wesley.
He's matched up defensively. There's some talk in there.
Yeah, that's a taunting technical. Now, you don't see that called a lot, but Kenny Mauer was right there.
Oh, he punched him.
Yeah.
He punched him right there in the lower midsection. There's no place whatsoever for that.
The PA just has to announce to the crowd, please don't throw anything on the floor and show good sportsmanship. Wesley misses that one, and Haslem couldn't control it with Butler. Let's look at that play again.
You want to keep your hands in the midsection. The first play is fine. And then right there, the clench of the fist and the punch.
That's in the groin area. I mean, you're right in front of the official. What is Austin thinking?
Is he thinking at all?
Baron Davis comes back in.
Or they're really yo-yoing Baron Davis in and out of this lineup a lot. Tough to do for a guy who likes to play the entire game.
You don't know if he's telling him, hey, I need to come out. Anyway, shot clock turned off as we wind down what has been a wild third quarter.
Baron Davis is waving everybody off. You might want to come and double team and take the ball out of his hands here.
Davis makes his move. The shuffle pass deflected, and there's the buzzer ending the third quarter.
Baron's so good, he was still able to get that ball back.
3 quarters complete. In game 5, the series is tied at 2 apiece. The Hornets lead by 5.
Century Fox's presentation of ESPN's Play Like There's No Tomorrow.
Fourth quarter quarter set to begin at American Airlines Arena in Miami. The Heat down by 5 on their home floor. The home team has won the first 4 games. The series tied at 2 apiece. And now the Heat have had some foul problems, need to come from behind to hold serve here in Game 5. And you see Game 5 so important in the best-of-7 series.
And as Ken Maurer is talking with Stan Van Gundy here, Stan cannot be happy with the prospects because the Heat have not been a good come-from-behind team in the fourth quarter this year. 38 times they have trailed at the end of 3. They have only won 6 times this season, Mike.
But a turnover to start the fourth. And for New Orleans, it's their 14th turnover. That's a key area for the Heat. They've only turned the ball over 9 times the whole game against some real pressure defense.
No ability to get into the open court by the Miami Heat. Lamar Odom needs to step to the front. What a rebound.
Butler flying in to snatch it. And the lead is cut to 3.
When you look at the cornerstones of the future of this franchise, Wade, Odom, Butler, all 3 of them, star potential and under 25 years of age, each of them.
That's Butler's first points of the game. He has 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, but his first bucket. Haslam, good defense on P.J. Brown, and Odom with the boxing out the other end.
Like the way Haslam took the hit that time and held his ground.
Wade puts it in.
Lamar Odom setting the screen there. Dan Van Gundy said we have to play better in the fourth quarter. The third quarter has been ours. That was not the case tonight.
That was Wade's first field goal of the second half.
Haslam holding his ground.
Armstrong, oh, he got hit on the release. West, though, on the follow. Can't finish. And look at Caron Butler. He plays with such force. Offensive foul. Oh, terrific defensive play from David West. So Butler picks up his 3rd.
The second-year player, Caron Butler, coming right up. And it's David West who has the superior position and who has maintained his poise.
West playing some fourth quarter minutes like he did in Game 4, and he came through for Tim Floyd and the Hornets.
Well, you talk to every member of this franchise with New Orleans, and they love David West and everything about him on and off the court. Great hand, Butler.
Oh, his 4th steal of the game. Wade.
There was like 5 turnovers on that single play.
But it's such the defensive effort to deflect shots, to use hands, just to get a fingertip on it. Boy, it's so impressive from both teams. The Hornets have led by as many as 11. They've led the entire second half. But right now, the Heat with a chance to take the lead again.
Isolation play for Wade.
Wade! Heat lead the game again.
He is playing in another world than everyone else. There's no one in this game that can come anywhere close to matching his athleticism.
Timeout, New Orleans.
All by himself, Dwayne Wade loses the ball, gets another dribble because it was stripped, and then literally dismantles the entire roster of the New Orleans Heat Hornets.
A 6-0 run to start the fourth quarter.
Enough of all the talk. We feel like it's a distraction. It's not a boxing match. It's a basketball game. KG looks like he's ready to roll. Timberwolves and Nuggets next. Mike?
Kevin, thank you. Miami with their first lead of the second half. A 1-point lead with just over 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Dwayne Wade, a great start. His first-year head coach loves his first-year point guard.
I don't think people really understand. This is a rookie playing his first year at the point guard position. He's in his first playoff series, and he's up against an all-pro guard who also is one of the best defensive point guards in this league. That's what he's up against in his first go-round. I think he's done remarkably well. He had a tough game in Game 3, but his other games have been solid, if not spectacular. I think he's done a heck of a job, and I think he's a guy that's just going to continue to get better and better and better as his career goes on.
And what stands out about Dwayne Wade is the sense of fearless attack. No matter who's under there, he's coming at it. And also a remarkable sense of humility for a player with this much talent. Everybody talks about what position he's going to play. Hey, this guy's a real basketball player. Just put him on the court and give him the ball.
P.J. Brown misfires. The Heat in the first half, their defense was strong, but the Hornets shot 47%. Here in the second half, the Hornets shooting less than 24%.
Nice play. Odom's got to deliver here, get to the hoop.
Odom finds Haslam and a foul, but the shot won't go. And 2 free throws as David West picks up the personal.
How wonderful to see all these fans dressed in black. Remember we used to come in here, Mike, and do the games, and the fans would cheer for the Knicks.
I remember during all those Knick Heat series, there were so many Knick fans, and they have an upper deck up here, way up top on each baseline as Haslam hits the first. Most of the time over the years, it's been covered by a curtain. They've had to open it up because they've sold every seat.
The last game they played here, game 2 of this series, was the largest attended playoff game in Heat history.
8-0 run to start the fourth quarter.
Those 2 years out of the playoffs have only made these fans hungrier.
Davis. P.J. Brown, the offensive rebound. Well, P.J. Brown, another strong game on the boards with 9.
The guy who's played a strong game is Adonis Haslam.
They needed his minutes off the bench. Stacey Augmon, blocked by Odom.
Shot clock a factor now. They're calling a traveling violation. Tim Floyd beside himself.
It looked like Odom deflected it. Now, Jack Neese, the baseline, the lead official, is going to check with Joe DeRosa. Nope, they're going to say it's Heat ball.
And Floyd cannot believe it. Either can Alvin Gentry, Jan Van Bredica. They're going to call a technical here.
Oh, a technical foul. Floyd is so upset. You know what? In this case, I don't, you know, he's getting demonstrative, but that's the 6th technical foul of the game. You get in the playoffs, somehow you got to avoid, but I want to see the replay on that last one. From our vantage point, it looked like Lamar Odom blocked the shot. Oh, Jones misses the free throw. Let's take a look at the replay.
Down the lane is Stacey Augmon, who gets his shot clearly blocked.
Oh, yeah. See, that's where, as an official, you have to be careful.
I'm not sure what the call is. What are they calling?
They call a travel. They call a travel, and it clearly wasn't that the ball was blocked by Odom.
That's a mistake by the referee.
And you can't compound the mistake by calling a technical there when there's a good chance that the call was wrong. Oh, Wade just throws it into the hands of West. Augmon and Wade get into a little bit of a shove.
And Wade has to be very careful, maintain your composure. A lot of people losing theirs here down the closing moments.
Augmon, big height advantage on Eddie Jones.
Augman's throwing elbows, too. You have to watch that.
Davis. Blocking foul on Haslam. And they count the basket, and it's back to a 1-point game. Haslam picks up his first, and Davis will go to the line. Let's see if he was above the restricted area. Well, he was outside the restricted area,
moving,
but he really didn't pick up a charge there.
This whole sense of flopping around on the court, trying to take advantage of the rules, gets very irritating.
And the game tied again. See, this is early in the game. Remember, it was so physical that if those kind of games can get a little out of control. And the officials, they don't want to change the way they've called the game, but at the same time, there's so much going on out there. Wade, great pass, blocked, and a foul. McGlure hit Haslam. What a great play from Dwayne Wade.
When Wade is met at the half-court line by an aggressive stand defensively by Baron Davis, he needs to just explode and go right by him. Do not get into a walk-it-up game there. You're 22 years old, Dwayne Wade. You're playing against a guy who has to carry the entire offensive load for the opposition. Up top here, What are you waiting for if you're Dwayne Wade? You just get on the run. You want a guy to come up at you like that when you have that kind of athleticism.
And he made a great play, though. Haslam hits a pair of free throws. 2-point Heat lead. Still plenty of time remaining. Over 8 minutes here in the critical game 5.
No time for reaching on the perimeter here. Play defense with your feet.
Armstrong. P.J. Brown. Brown now with 12 points and 9 rebounds. The former Miami Heat player.
The big guy's able to knock down that 15-foot shot. Grant's done it for Miami. McGlure, P.J. Brown, and Lynch, who's been missing all of his shots tonight from out there.
Eddie Jones got perfect position. Odom with the excellent entry pass. To tell you what, Heat making some nice passes inside here in the fourth quarter.
I like the combination plays we're seeing from Miami now. Instead of trying to play one-on-one, everybody's getting involved. Traveling violation by Augman.
Haslam comes up with a loose ball. Good defense from Lamar Odom to make it a difficult entry pass.
You got an isolation attack.
Boy, this is a physical game.
You know, Baron Davis is right-handed and promises to be so the rest of this game.
That's a three from Darrell Armstrong. And the Hornets back up by 1 as Armstrong with his first field goal of the game.
And how about a defensive commitment by Van Gundy and the Heat to just say, Baron Davis is only going left. And we'll take that.
Easier said than done, Bill. You can't say anything bad about the defense of the Heat the way they played. Odom comes back with a three.
Now they got Eddie Jones switched over here, protecting Dwayne Wade's foul trouble. Eddie Jones, a premier defender for years in this league.
Augman, they call him Plastic Man. And Haslam rips it down. Haslam's had to play a lot of minutes, and he's come through.
Well, he's outplayed Brian Grant. Done the job defensively and on the boards, both ends. Nice.
Jones. Eddie Jones. Largest lead of the game for the Heat.
Where's the offense going to come from for New Orleans? Other than Baron Davis. Or will that be enough?
Davis draws contact. Got hit from behind. Yeah, that's one of the few calls that somebody actually agreed upon.
But how about when Baron Davis puts the ball on the ground with 2 hands? Why is that not counted as the dribble?
So Davis will shoot as Eddie Jones picks up his third.
Eddie Jones able to get through the defender with the explosive split. The rotation by Augman a bit too late in the underhand scoop. Good enough for Eddie Jones. And the 4-point Heat lead.
Jones' scoring average in the playoffs has been a lot lower than the regular season, but he's come up big in Game 5.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN continues in a moment. ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by The Day After Tomorrow. When it's all on the line, play like there's no tomorrow. The new Chevrolets, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months, an American revolution. Miller, vote Miller for president of beers. Good call. And Radio Shack, you've got questions, we've got answers.
For the first time in franchise history, the Minnesota Timberwolves have won 3 playoff games in a single postseason. They are 1 game away from eliminating the Nuggets. It's coming up next, right after Miami and New Orleans.
Kevin, here in the fourth quarter, the Heat have outscored the Hornets 17-8 to take their largest lead of the game, but there's still just under 5.5 remaining in the fourth. And let's look at our Chevy game track.
It starts with Baron Davis, the engine that drives this powerful Hornet team with 28.7 assists, continuing his stellar play after a subpar opening 2 games. And then Dwayne Wade, who continues to amaze with remarkable athleticism and explosiveness. Top performances there, 6 6 technical fouls. Rafer Alston loses his mind, and then Tim Floyd follows suit. It's all on the line right now. Jeffrey Bauer, assistant coach Tim Floyd, able to restore order there on the Hornet bench.
Davis hits the first free throw. Again, in such an important game, the technical fouls, but that one Tim Floyd didn't deserve because he was upset with what was a bad call and a costly call as Davis hits both free throws. There you see 30 for Davis.
Here's where Wade has to go by Davis. He's not going to win a game of up close that far away from the basket with Baron Davis.
Haslam with McGraw on him.
Nice passing.
Wade. Good defensive sequence by the Hornets. The Hornets here in the second half have shot 29% from the field.
When Wade has that ball, the rest of the Heat need to keep moving. He's a willing passer.
This game has certainly slowed down. Wade with the steal. Can't finish. Eddie Jones trying to get it. Wesley knocked it away.
Haslam.
And it go the other way. Hornets ball.
Haslam never gives up on the play. A little surprised that Wade didn't throw this one down here. The anticipation up in the passing lane. And he was so far behind this play. Nice little defensive feint by Baron Davis to force the double clutch on Wade.
And then Wesley good boxing out so Eddie Jones could not get the offensive rebound. Wesley for three. An air ball. P.J. Brown throws it off of Odom. But there's only 7 left on the shot clock. Tim Floyd is out past the three-point line counting instructions. Which will be the first road team to break through, if any, here in this series.
Great screening by P.J. Brown.
Wesley will try another three. Caron Butler, as we have a loose ball foul called against Miami. Caron Butler, it's just simple sometimes, just coming out and putting a hand up that distracts the three-point shooter. Butler's had a terrific defensive game. He hasn't shot well, but he's done everything else so well.
What a remarkable physical specimen Caron Butler is. I mean, it just goes to show you what Riley has done here in terms of putting this squad together. Butler, Wade, Odom, the coach, Stan Van Gundy, Udonis Haslam.
That foul, by the way, on Eddie Jones's fourth, and a bad pass from P.J. Brown. And that's the 19th turnover. That's been a big story. 19 turnovers for the Hornets, leading to 20 Heat points.
And turnovers that early in the shot clock, the first question that pops to mind is why?
That's the 6th turnover of the 4th quarter. Odom trying to get some space.
Can't get any against PJ. PJ just too good.
Oh, that's a great defensive play. Odom wanted a foul, but he's going to just hustle back. Butler shuts off Davis nicely. Nice save from Armstrong.
Playing with a 3-guard lineup now for New Orleans.
Wesley can't hit the three. Another offensive rebound for Brown. Armstrong for three. And Eddie Jones can't save it. Armstrong with the steal. Davis for three. And New Orleans back up by 1. We are seeing some amazing defensive plays.
Playing the small ball game. New Orleans beating Miami at what they do best, with quickness and anticipation.
And Stan Van Gundy now wants to talk about it. 17 offensive rebounds, a key number for New Orleans. So a timeout with just under 3.5 remaining in the 4th. Heat down by 1. They'll have the ball when we return.
Sam Cassell and Latrell Sprewell have 258 of their team's 371 points in this series. Nuggets and Timberwolves coming up next.
Kevin, still a lap to go here in Miami. Still 3:25 remaining. Hornets by 1. Time now for our Sprite Mad skills. Mr. Dwayne Wade, take over.
And those skills have been a remarkable demonstration of what it means to be a dynamic rookie in this league. Splitting defenders, getting to the hoop with impunity, finishing miraculous, incredible shots, skill level, perimeter pull-up jumpers. say so often as we celebrate the Sprite mad skills of Dwayne Wade that if you're not like somebody else, you can't be very good. I disagree. This guy is tremendous already.
I tell you what, I'm sweating. It's so hot in here, and the crowd on its feet. Jones for three. Eddie Jones. For Eddie Jones. It's his high in the series.
Miami has been the better team off the dead balls and out of timeouts. Beautiful split pass by Baron Davis.
George Lynch. And that's George Lynch's first field goal, and what a time. He was 0 for 8 before tying the game.
Tim Floyd for New Orleans has gone with so many different lineup looks, changing it up at every turn. Now he's got the big lineup in with Lynch instead of Darrell Armstrong.
He's got his starters in there. Jones, nice fake, goes hard to the basket, draws the foul. Eddie Jones playing like the veteran, playing like the man with playoff experience, especially in the second half.
George Lynch, 1 for 9. You miss your first 8. You've been sitting on the bench. You've basically been hooked by the coach because you haven't been able to make a shot. Yes, you contributed 9 solid rebounds. Then you get a wide open shot that hits the front and bounces around and drops in.
Eddie Jones misses the first. Jones started the game 1 for 7. He only had 2 points in the first quarter as he misses both free throws. And the Heat, 13 of 23. They've missed 10 free throws in the game.
It's good to see Eddie Jones. He's not a noted finisher. Much stronger first half performer.
George Lynch, the pass to McClure. Excellent pass from Lynch first with the bucket and then with the assist. Hornets back up by 2.
The overpowering size and strength advantage of McClure, the all-star center. P.J. Brown and Lynch really taking a toll on Miami.
Offensive foul. Odom with a moving pick, and that's 5 on Odom. A costly turnover.
He's had 2 of those fouls tonight, Mike. One early in the game.
He's got to walk away. Jack Neese has handed out quite a few technicals. Let's take a look. We'll get back to it.
They're putting no pressure on the advance of the ball by Baron Davis, showing tremendous respect. And then they're coming to double teaming. Oh, what a rebound by Eddie Jones, high above the crowd.
Under 2 minutes remaining. Odom flips it up and draws the foul. McClure will pick up the personal. And that's 5 on Jamal McClure. Odom will go to the free throw line where he's 1 for 2 tonight.
But the determination of Lamar Odom, who cost his team dearly with the offensive foul. The handle of Lamar Odom. Strong to his left, away from the defenders.
So Odom will go to the line. This, of course, has been a career year from Lamar Odom. He was considered in his years with the Clippers, 4 years, kind of an underachieving player. He was suspended a couple of times for marijuana use. A lot of people thought he wouldn't reach his potential, but Pat Riley signed him to a deal, and his belief in him, according to Stan Van Gundy, a big reason for the way he's turned it around. And Riley showed him a card that talked about why the Clippers didn't re-sign him. It said character and other concerns. A lot of people spoke badly about Odom, but he even admits he made a lot of mistakes, and now he's matured, and the confidence Pat Riley showed him has resulted in his best NBA season.
Never hold failure on the Clippers against someone. I've known Lamar Odom since he joined this NBA. This is an outstanding talent and a developing, growing young man.
And 2 clutch free throws to tie the game at 80. We'll have more on Lamar Odom. And the finish here in Game 5. It's all even at 80. 16 points, 4 rebounds. Been in foul trouble early, but 2 clutch free throws right there from a guy who has really turned his career around here in Miami as we go to Jim Gray.
Mike, you were talking about that card that Pat Riley gave him, character and other concerns. The quote from Elgin Baylor, he carried it around with him in his wallet for a long time. I asked him if we could see it before the game. He said, well, he didn't have it with him. I said, I thought it was in your wallet. He said, I don't want Elgin to be upset that I have it, and I don't want Pat Riley to be upset that I disclosed it. When he found out that we knew, he said, I don't have it, guys. It's on my dashboard in my car now. Mike?
It's certainly in his head, that's for sure. Wesley gets it to Brown.
Great closeout by Odom.
That's a 3. And Eddie Jones with the rebound. And it knocked away. Jones staring at Jack Neese. He felt he got hit.
Well, where's the offense going to come from right now for Miami? They got to keep moving and attack early enough in the shot clock so they don't get caught up in this great Hornet defense.
Jones calling for the ball. Shot clock winding down. Odom. Shot clock at 2. Odom didn't realize it. Wade just gets it off. It's good. A 3.
It looked as if the Miami Heat were totally up against it. The shot clock expiring with the ball in the air and the crowd erupts.
21 for the rookie. Heat by 3.
37 in the last 3. The Timberwolves will need a big effort from Nuggets and Timberwolves coming up next. Let's go back to Miami. Great game, Mike.
Devin? Well, Sam Cassell's had some big numbers from Minnesota. Dwayne Wade has certainly done it. A rookie from Marquette in his first playoff series. Started off the series in spectacular fashion. The game winner in the final seconds. He played well in game 2. Struggled a bit shooting in games 3 and 4. But here in game 5, just hit a 3 with the shot clock winding down. But plenty of time remaining. The Hornets do not need a 3.
The magical moments of a young man coming of age before our eyes. Attack quickly if you're New Orleans. Back to the 3-guard lineup for Tim Floyd.
P.J. Brown knocked out of his hands. Armstrong has it blocked by Butler. Armstrong for 3. And Butler comes up and is fouled. Caron Butler has made defensive play after defensive play here tonight.
What a stand by the Miami Heat. And Stan the man, Van Gundy, ecstatic.
But now they have to hit some free throws. Butler has not been to the free throw line tonight. In the series, he's 77%. And this season, he was at 76%, so he's a strong free throw shooter.
And this place will get extremely quiet in the next 5 seconds. The defensive stop. The Heat lunging out, and then Lamar Odom swipe at the ball to, again, use the shot clock to his advantage defensively.
4-point game. Again, the Hornets don't have to go for the 3. Wesley for 3. Heat ball.
Was that ball touched? New Orleans is saying yes. The referee's disagreeing.
I don't think so. Again, teams feel they have to get that 3, and they wind up taking a forced contested 3 as opposed to a quick 2.
Get on the run if you're the Miami Heat.
And Butler fouled. So now it's a matter, if the Heat hit their free throws, they're going to win this game. If they missed them, it'll open the window of opportunity for the Hornets. They've missed their share of free throws, 16 of 27. That last foul is against Baron Davis's 4th.
But how about Stan Van Gundy with one of the worst starts? 0-7, and then to end up with the winning record in home court in the first round of the playoffs.
And it's been their play at home. They won their last 12 regular season home games. Won games 1 and 2, so a 14-game home winning streak. Stan Van Gundy taking over for Pat Riley. And learned from that man, Bill Van Gundy, for so many years. His dad, over 40 years in coaching. So proud of what his sons have accomplished in the NBA. And the Hornets will use their final timeout. It's a 20-second timeout. Caron Butler making the big plays here in Game 5. and running out of time. 23.2 remaining. As the Heat lead by 6, it's the Hornets' ball. The key shot the game was tied. And Dwayne Wade, the rookie, with the shot clock. See it at 1. He just gets it off in time. And it's that 3 to give them a 3-point lead.
I like that back screen at the bottom there by Caron Butler that allowed Dwayne Wade to stay so wide open, as it appeared that Lamar Odom had to pass that ball. Now the Hornets completely up against it. They've come with Seldon Hughes, veteran Steve Smith now.
So they're looking for the 3. A main reason for that now is they're out of timeouts, which will obviously negate any chance to advance the ball with a timeout.
This crowd, they have driven their Heat, because the Heat have not played that well. They play with great passion. The execution not as sharp as it will need to be if they're going to win this game and series on Sunday.
Davis for 3. P.J. Brown. Steve Smith for 3. Smith knocks it in. How about that? Sits the whole game and makes it a 3-point game with 14.3 remaining.
And Steve Smith, who was the franchise player here for Miami for so many years.
And they foul right away. Wesley commits the foul. So now it's a matter of hitting free throws. They hit the free throws, they win the game. Eddie Jones will go to the line. He's missed 4 free throws tonight. The veteran has played a super game, 24 points. But you see him from the line. Again, the Hornets do not have timeouts, and Miami has a foul to give. And the key thing here, Bill, is if he misses, do you foul and not let him take a 3? Well, that makes it a moot point.
Now you just make them take time off the clock, even if they do get a layup. You don't need a 3.
Davis, Wesley, inside the McGraw, and he's fouled. Oh, Adonis Haslam with the foul with 4.5 remaining.
So now if you're the Hornets, you make the first one, miss the second, tip it out, and you got Baron Davis or Steve Smith or Wesley knocking down a 3.
They had a foul to give, so he won't shoot free throws.
That wasn't a shooting foul?
No. Smith forces it up. And that'll do it. The Miami Heat hold serve again. They'll head to New Orleans, up 3 games to 2. Coming up next, Nuggets and Timberwolves of Minnesota. For Bill Walton, Jim Gray, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Breen saying good night from Miami as the Heat defeat the Hornets. The officials.
You know, one of the matchups that we didn't talk about, but is a very, very important matchup, Mark, that between the 2 coaches. Lawrence Frank, virtually unknown, inexperienced rookie head coach, going against Larry Brown, the Hall of Famer, who has won championships on a lot of different levels. And, you know, when you get to this round of the playoffs, teams have to make adjustments on the fly, and that's all about coaching. And Lawrence Frank has got to match Larry Brown in making adjustments quickly.
And we'll track that very closely. The Detroit Pistons win the opening tip, and Billups looking to get it to Hamilton, denied by Kittles. Now Hamilton has it on the baseline. They switch, and you got Kmart on him. Hamilton off the fake. Short.
Some great matchups here, Mark, because you got Kid Billups and Kittles and Hamilton and Kmart, one of the Wallaces. Great matchups.
So each team with an empty trip to start things off. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals.
And the Pistons will try to slow the pace and create the tempo that they like. But to do that, they have got to go, as I said at the top, inside out. They've got to get the ball inside to one of the 2 Wallaces, and then